600 laps. 6th machine around off turn number 2. Huge wreck there. Samosian drives it in on the new tire off of turn 4. Connor Samosian, the new tire fall, the 4-tire fall, 1 tire across the line. Connor Samosian is still the way near Kansas.
Hello everyone, we're here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway for race number 5 of the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series. Practice just finished up as Samuel Hoff was fastest in practice over Ruben Rodas in second. Right now qualifying underway here shortly. It's 5 minutes in total, 2 laps to set your fastest lap time. As we go and see who is on the racetrack currently. As there's Ruben Rodas in pit lane out right now. Like I mentioned, he was second fastest in practice. We're gonna have a good run for him. Our Cofield in practice too, as Joey Beam on the racetrack. Samuel Hoff now on the racetrack, fastest in practice. Also last week's winner at Pocono, as well as Alex Anderson. He's currently second in the points on the racetrack right now, saying his first lap. As off of turn number 4 goes Anderson. His lap times are coming up in here shortly. As Nathan Johnson top of the board now. Alex Anderson not too far behind. As everyone else sorting themselves out, you got Joey Beam in 3rd. AJ Hudson in 5th. Brian Marshall 4th. There's Nathan Johnson. Fastest currently right now. As Jared Scarron now goes top of the board on his first lap, as Nathan Johnson has not improved. Samuel Hoff goes to 2nd. Nate Bogus goes up to 1st now. Travis Bieber now 1st. Donnie Kite 2nd. So the lap times are coming in. Everyone's going quicker, it seems like, on their first lap. That was Travis Bieber. He ran that on the 2nd lap there. Off of turn number 4 for Samuel Hoff. What can he do coming to the line? It's going to be a 29.811. That puts him on pole position for now, as he goes to the top of the board over Travis Bieber with 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. So I have some fast drivers like Dylan Canova. He was up there in practice. Same with the others as well. As coming across the line, Canova already ran 1 lap, 2 laps before. Not a great lap time there for Dylan Canova. 30.2, that puts him in 30 seconds. He was really good in practice, just did not put it together well in qualifying. There's Cameron Craig coming on the racetrack as well. Daniel Molnix, who's 3rd in the points right now. Won at Daytona in the opener. Currently sitting 23rd on the track. He has 1 more lap to go and see if he can improve. Be inside that top 10 at least and have some good starting position for the heat races. As off of turn 4 he goes. Molnix is going to run a 29.984. He does improve. That puts him in around 10th. Exactly 10th place it is for the 40 machine. Cameron Craig had Nagi Bosella, Craig Martin on the racetrack. We have 49 drivers in total here for tonight's race. top 10 in each heat goes to the main event, and obviously the top 2 in qualifying advance. Right now it looks like it's going to be Samuel Hawk and Travis Bieber, unless Craig Martin has something to say. He's up to 30 seconds. He's the last driver to set a lap here tonight. Through 3 and 4 he goes. They try to get on the gas as soon as he can. Gets really tight off of turn 4. Ball comes up on you quickly as he gets a pretty good exit there. Can he improve his lap time? No, he does not. He stays in 33rd. So everyone has set a lap here so far except Cameron Craighead. But that's going to be the starting order here for tonight's race as Samuel Hoff and Travis Bieber advance to the main event already. Samuel Hoff gets the Rogue Energy pole here at Nashville. As that is officially, this qualifying is officially wrapped up. Samuel Hoff on pole position, and he gets the Rogue Energy pole award here for tonight's race. And are you ready to take your sim racing to the next level? Rogue Energy is the ultimate gaming energy drink loaded with vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. Get laser-like focus, increased motivation, and longer endurance to excel on the racetrack. Whether you're battling for the lead or perfecting your lap times, Rogue Energy gives you the edge you need. Use code RER at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Don't just play, dominate with Rogue Energy. And Samuel Hoff, we're going to have to watch once again these heat races from outside. Not going to be in there. Heat races as Heat 1 underway right now. Gearing up at least. We'll take a look at our starting grid here for tonight's JuicySpydr 200 for heat number 1. Here's Garrett on in first place, Ryan Hootson in second. In third, Christopher Busch, Michael James in fourth. Blake McClung in fifth, Hunter Sr. sixth. Jimmy Gekas seventh, Jake Ballman in eighth. Joey Beam 9th, Justin Coggin 10th. Craig Martin 11th, Dylan Canova in 12th. And 13th, Timothy Presley, Thomas Spencer in 14th. Zachary Tyler in 15th, Tyler Martin 16th. Rounds out your grid here for tonight's race. For heat number 1, as your grid rolling off right now currently. As right now, weather conditions looking pretty good. This race might go into some sunset here for the main event at least. Currently it's 5 p.m., around 5 p.m. in the sim time. Pretty low track temp and overall temperature of 60 in the mid 60s and mid 70s for the track temp. So it shouldn't be too highly slick or too high of wear, I would say, here at Nashville. These corners do get pretty tight, especially on the exits of them. So we'll see how that affects these drivers. It's going to be 15 lap heats. Like I mentioned, the top 10 advance. The main event here tonight for 150 laps. As comes to the Geico Razor Zone, green flag is out, and Jared Skinner leads us to the green. As Jared Skinner clears for the race lead easily as Ryan puts in Christopher Busch contact there for third. As Michael James made some contact, that was Christopher Busch and Blake McClung making some contact there off of turn 2, but there's still 3 wide in the mid-pack there throughout most of the pack. As we up one car around, that's Zachary Tyler, and up the racetrack they go. Big collision there, Timothy Presley, Zachary Tyler, Dylan Canova involved there, spinning through the grass. Most of those drivers will have to go through the heat races, through the LCQs. Once again, Canova, like I mentioned, was fast in practice, but that's what happens when you have that great of a qualifying. You can get caught up in someone else's mess sometimes. As right now, Jared Skinner leads the field. A pretty good gap over the rest of the pack as they're kind of down behind currently. Christopher Busch, Jimmy Geikis, side by side for fourth. As here comes Justin Coggin, also side by side there. Big ball man. Also as well as a single file down the back. Dual file action as well. Nashville, not the most, I would say, multi-groove racetrack. You can definitely run the middle lane, pinch the guy down, but it's usually just kind of a one lane racetrack. Just you kind of see most of the field single filing out as Jared Skinner playing on the clinic right now, just pulling away from the rest of the field. As they continue the battle here in the mid-pack, so the top 10 as they're blocking as hard in the outside wall goes Justin Coggin, as also Christopher Busch involved there. As actually gonna really shake up this mid-pack as Justin Coggin got right rear hooked maybe into turn number 3. Let's take a quick look at that one. It's down the back straight where they go. As both drivers kind of just came together. Busch came down, Coggin came up. Coggin was trying to open up for the corner, but he's got to go to the LCQ here tonight. It's back out for the top 10 spot. Michael James currently has that spot locked down in that 23 machine. As the field is really spread out due to all these incidents that has happened the first 6 laps. Had about 2 wrecks in mid-pack, one on the back straight and one on the front straightaway. And we can't really spread the field out so far, so we'll try to pick up some spots, have a little longer run, see if they're good with their tires. It's coming across the line. As Jared Skinner continues to lead over the rest of the field. We have a 3-car pack here, kind of, 2nd through 4th. Oh, it looks like Ryan Hudson got a bit tight off of turn 4, and that's going to allow Blake McClellan to clear easily into turn 1. As Jimmy Geikis now looking inside for that 3rd place spot. He's through right there. His number might be backwards on the top side, but you know, he's looking pretty good right now in 3rd. We also have some battle here. Tyler Martin and Thomas Spencer close together. Hunter Senior, Craig Martin, this is for 5th. As we're past halfway through Heat 1. Very eventful these first few laps. There's kind of some movements in the last few laps, last 2 laps or so. Some passing here and there. As Ryan Hudson has really lost a lot of spots, a lot of time as he's now down to 4th. Got passed by Jimmy Geikis and Blake McClellan earlier, now down to 5th. Being passed by Ryan Hunter Sr. And here comes Craig Martin now, looking to the inside. That 98 machine has really fallen off here as of late. Not sure, he may have got to the outside wall a few times, possibly damaged, got some aero damage on the right front. But he's really lost some paces. Tyler Martin, Michael James. Saw some movement there, but nothing, not too close together. As we're coming to 5 laps to go for Heat 1. As Craig Martin out to the inside with a good run down the front straightaway. He's going to clear down into turn 1. He puts himself in the top 5 spot for now. Back out front, Jared Skinner leads over the rest of the field. There's a pretty big gap to Blake McClellan in 2nd. You see how spread out the field is after about 12 laps or so. He's got Michael James is almost 3 wide there. And Michael James, Tyler Martin down to 10th. As he trying to get around Jake Bowman down the back straightaway as you're side by side. As Craig Martin and Ryan Hudson side by side for 5th. Martin up top, trying to hang on to the position. He just got around. Hudson there. Is getting him plenty of room, not pinching him down too much in 1 and 2. They get a good run off of turn 2 there. Not quite though, not as good as I expected. As there goes Hudson, he's going to try to get to the inside. He's going to slot back in line for 6th. The driver's not content with just riding around. We're going to try and get in as many positions as they can and have a way better starting position for the main event. And still side by side for 5th. I think Martin's going to get the run off of 2 that he hopes for, and he does. I think he's going to clear in the turn 3. He's got. He was clear, I think, for a second, but not quite. As Hudson really sends it through 3 and 4. Trying to get good eggs off of 4. He has, as it comes to a white flag, as Jared Skinner still leads over 2 seconds over Blake McClung. As battle for 5th rages on here. Through off of turn 2. Martin just has not gotten the run off of turn 2 that he's probably wanted. And he is finally clear. Will he go on the block? No, he's going to give him the inside once again. Not sure that's the right call, but off of turn 4, Jared Skinner will come to checker flag and win Heat 1, excuse me. Side by side for 5th place. Craig Martin trying to get run off of turn 4, and he gets it at the line barely over Ryan Hudson. And for the transfer spot, you got Tyler Martin gets into the top 10, and he'll make it into Heats. He'll make it into the main event from Heat number 1. As Jared's going to go Heat winners with a quick look at our race results from that race there. As Jared Skinner wins Heat number 1, Blake McClung 2nd, Jimmy Gekas 3rd, Hunter Sr. 4th, Craig Martin 5th, Ryan Hudson 6th, Thomas Pincher 7th, Michael James 8th, Jake Ballman 9th, Tyler Martin in 10th, Christopher Bush 11th, Joey Beam 12th, Dylan Canova 13th, Emily Presley 14th, Justin Coggin 15th, and Zachary Tyler in 16th. All those drivers will have to go to the LCQ and try to advance in there. And for Heat number 2, I'm going to be joined alongside Aaron Brown for the rest of this one.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun night tonight as we just wrapped up Heat number 1. So Heat number 2 about to get underway as these drivers will see what these Heat 2 drivers who will be able to lock into the main event tonight. As we just got through the Heat number 1. So here's the starting lineup for Heat number 2. Donnie Kite will start P number 1. Travis Sheen will start 2nd. Starting 3rd will be the 40 machine of Daniel Mullings. Tate LeFrec will be 4th in the 52 machine. Skylar Jones will start 5th. Ruben Hernandez will start 6th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. will start 7th. Jacob Wilson will start 8th. Krista Traeger will start 9th. Connor Rosen and Rana are top 10. Alex Rakim will start 11th. Jordan Evans will start 12th. 13th will be Michael Malm. 14th will be Nathan Fryer. 15th will be 10 McBasketball. And our 16 car Heat number 2 field will be Cameron Craighead. Cameron, the only driver to not set a lap time in qualifying out of these drivers.
An interesting note here, we have a drive-through in the heat race for the 38 machine. Last week, Kristen Swegger had a penalty, so he's got to serve a drive-through in this heat race. So right now he's just going to try to make up as many spots, as much time as he can, avoid the wrecks, and just, I'm pretty sure he'll have to go to the LCQ most likely.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope for a lot of luck at this point. He's going to have to hope 6 drivers wreck out, but here we go. The pace car is off. A green flag is back in the air for Heat number 2. As Donnie Kite off to a great start. He's clear the rest of the field so far as Molly Smith follow behind him. Top 4 now, top 4 clear of the field.
Side by side in the main pack 3 wide. We saw this in Heat 1. You see how aggressive these drivers are. There's Kristen Swigert got to serve his drive-through already. Gets the ball on the racetrack.
So everyone's single file for now, but now we got 3 wide, almost looking there. The 84 machine down on the bottom. Thinks better of it, 6 back, but they're still side by side for 4th.
Ruben Rodas tight off a turn on the entry of turn 1. Gets in the Jacob Wilson there for 7th.
Still side by side up front between the 18 machine of Travis Sheed and Skylar Jones on the inside. Actually, sorry, let's just take the Pret on the bottom, and that Google machine on the bottom. Try to make the inside lane work. Not able to do anything there so far. Going to be able to clear there for a second. As now they clear off of turn number 4. Everyone single files out for the top 10 or so.
Interesting thing to note, Christian Schweger, I guess he didn't have a drive-through. He has a stop and go, 40-second stop and go possibly. But he's still in the pit lane, so he's not even going to be able to pick off any of these drivers that might rack out tonight's race. So he's pretty much guaranteed to start last in the LCQ. Tough break for him.
What if he just had the penalty, just decided to just give up on it, knowing he wasn't going to have much of a chance at all?
There he comes out off the pit lane now.
Okay, so
I'm not sure why. It was a minute and 12 seconds in the pit box, so I'm not sure. It's a lot longer than 40 seconds. That's usually the max you can give someone. But Battle Race Lead, Donnie Kite, Daniel Molnix, side by side. Molnix not quite clear. I thought he was going to clear off of turn 4. Kite still trying to get around the outside there, that roaring machine. He's off of turn 2, still not cleared quite yet. There goes Molnix now out in front for the first time tonight. Skylar Jones now looking to get up to second over Donnie Kite. As the top 3 now single file out.
Yeah, everyone kind of single file, just trying to stay nose to tail through most of the field so far.
A lot cleaner of a heat than we saw in heat number 1. There was 2 separate incidents there that took out a majority of the field. Probably five or six cars involved in total wrecks, so a lot cleaner so far halfway through this one.
So I do have side by side here between Tate LaPret and Jacob Wilson on the bottom. Jake Wilson going to be able to clear, but now to the inside, Cameron Craig had trying to make his way up. He started in the very back. He's worked his way all the way up to now 7th. So he's going to be able to clear LaPret, but LaPret's falling back as now they got the 45 to the inside. All right, so goes into the inside there of LaPret. Sposian struggling to move his way up through the field as well. Just kind of stuck around this 9th place position. Staying on the bottom for now.
Sposian was one of the top runners last season. But obviously a brand new car and brand new track we never went to last season. So there's a little bit of contact between him and Tate LaPret. So it's definitely a learning curve for some of these drivers already. It's George Lesman Jr., what a run for him. Up to 4th place here off of turn 4. Yes, he's past Travis Sheed. Not quite actually, but down the front straightaway he goes. He should clear into turn 1.
Stay side by side still. Maybe a little bit of contact
Craighead.
there. Anyway, here comes Cameron Craighead trying to make maybe a 3-wide move to the center there. Not going to work to get the real tight behind him. Gonna try to get the push down the back straightaway, but everyone's staying side by side, 2 rows deep so far, with 5 to go here in heat number 1. This could end in disaster for all these drivers. They're gonna be careful not to make any contact with anybody. I guess as soon as I say that, there around goes the sorry.
George Lesman Jr. and Travis Sheed.
84. Travis Sheed involved there.
George Lesman Jr. also involved. They were running both inside the top 7 easily. They were most likely to make tonight's main event in this heat race. Now they have to go to the LCQ.
Yeah, they're still fighting hard up front so far. It's Connor Sabozia now
Ruben
with
Rose
the
in the wall.
contact there.
Bunch of drivers on the outside wall for turn 4.
Yeah, Cameron Craighead back to 6. Connor Sabozia was able to benefit from that incident there. Lufret behind Cameron Craighead off of turn number 2 now. All these drivers fighting for this spot. Big battle back here for the transfer spot. Nathan Fryer in the 14 on the bottom. He's got 95. Alex McQueen behind him. Now he's got Tate Lufret to his outside. That time by Nathan Fryer in tonight. So Michael Malm in the 72 and the 95 of Alex McQueen battling for that final transfer spot for now. With 2 to go here. And now it's Alex McQueen on the transfer spot. 16, Jordan Evans trying to come through and take this spot away, but Lufret and Fryer staying side by side. 3 wide now.
What a move.
McQueen to the bottom 3. Here comes the 72. Michael Malm trying to find his way back in there. Has to be one of these 3 drivers. This is for the transfer spot to make the feature. As now Lufret all the way on the outside, 3 wide, not really gonna have a big run off the corner. McQueen now clears them both. Side by side for 9th is Michael, side by side for 10th is now Michael Malm right behind for the transfer spot. Can Malm snipe one at the line? He's gonna be to the bottom, 3 wide for the transfer. It's not gonna be enough. Lufret takes 9th and Fryer holds on to the final transfer spot for heat number 2. As Daniel Malnix was able to pick up the win in heat number 2. So he will start 4th tonight in tonight's feature race. So what a chaotic heat 2 right at the very end there, as there's our results for Daniel Malnix on the top, finishes on top with Donnie Kite in 2nd. Skylar Jones 3rd, Connor Sabozia in 4th, Jacob Wilson 5th, Ruben Rhodes in 6th, Cameron Craighead 7th, Alex McQueen 8th, Tate Lufret 9th, Nathan Fryer rounds out our top 10. Finishing 11th in heat number 2 will be Michael Malm, Jordan Evans, Civic Basketball, Travis Sheed, Corey Leslie Jr., and Christian Traeger will all have to go to the LCQ tonight. Now they currently gritting up for heat number 3, the final heat of the night. They'll get into our LCQ. So starting on the pole for heat number 3 will be Nate Bogus. Alongside him will be the 67 of Alex Anderson. Starting heat number 3 will be AJ Hudson in the 53. Isaiah Walters will start 4th. Starting 5th will be Kyle Harlitsky. Nathan Johnson will start 6th. Brian Marshall will start 7th. Starting 8th will be John Russo. Starting 9th will be the 6th of Alan Kennedy. Mark Cofield will start 10th. Starting 11th will be the 13 of Dan Rarick, and 12th will be Albert Lopez. Dylan Lamp will start 13th, and alongside him will be the 8 machine of Dwayne Young. And rounding out our 15 card, heat number 3 will be John Peterson.
There's it's been really racy so far in the mid-pack, not so much out front, but Nashville Speedway not known for, I would say, a lot of multi-group racing, but we've seen a lot of side-by-side throughout the whole field, especially in the mid-pack or so.
Yeah, we've seen it's been very close, especially through that second heat. It's a lot closer. Everyone was battling to the very end for that final transfer spot. We'll see if heat 3 has something similar. The pace car takes the hard left turn on to pit road, and we are underway for heat number 3. Nate Bogg is quick to the pedal, and he's rockets ahead already from the field.
Black flag, Nate Bogus.
And Nate Bogus jumps the start.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if he knew the rule on that.
So did not.
It has to be on green.
The restart zone did not take the green, took the green too early. So now he's at the fall back. It's now actually contact for 3rd now. They watch us. They're going to be 3 wide for 4th.
And Bogus missed pit lane.
Yeah, Bogus missed pit road there. I mean, that's pretty much, that penalty is going to be his heat over, so he's going to have to go to the LCQ.
There's almost some contact. For 2nd there.
Harlitsky.
As he has almost 3-4 wide, fanning out so much here on the back straightaway at Nashville.
So far, side by side for third still between Hudson and Watrous. Hudson on the bottom, Watrous on the outside lane. Side by side, Watrous pending Hudson down right to that yellow line, almost forcing him on the apron there on the front stretch. Down to the one, Hudson's trying to hold down on the bottom.
Oh,
not able to
contact
do
in the
much
back.
so far.
Got spin. John Peterson,
John
Albert
Peterson.
Lopez, I think. No, Dan Reberark involved there. Hard hitting the outside wall for him. There's even more contact.
Karlinski in the wall. Big damage for those
John
drivers.
Russo,
Just 3 in the wall.
Ryan Marshall involved. He has no front end. His heat number 3 is over. And chaos has ensued in heat 3. We have really much a big wrecks in heat number 2. We have that one with Lesma Jr. involved, but right now already 2 wrecks in lap number 4. A lot of these drivers involved so far.
Yeah, and already a lot. That's about 3 or 4 cars. That's what Nate Bogus needs. He just got out of pit road. He needs a lap down. So see if any more wrecks. This could still go his way for Nate Bogus.
Yeah, just needs to pick up as many positions as he can, get a better starting spot. I mean, every position matters here in these heat races for him.
And Dan Reberark, he is currently in pit road. He is done. Brian Marshall is done. And John Peterson is still running on the racetrack, albeit very slowly. So right now, Nate Bogus can get up to 13th, which would be a lot of positions and a lot of help in that LCQ that could get him in this race. Right now, Alex Anderson holds the lead, but Nathan Johnson all over his back bumper. Nathan Johnson trying to make some moves early on in this heat race. Trying to take the race lead away. Spot is the heat winner here. Will start 5th in tonight's feature. So the heat win will be nice. Get a guaranteed top 5 starting spot.
So here comes Nathan Johnson now. Got a good shot from Isaiah Watrous down the front straightaway. We gotta try to get around Alex Anderson here on the inside lane. As we're halfway through this one, as the top 4 really pull away from the rest of the field. You got Nate Bogus there also in the background there, making this a 5-car pack out front. So 3 wide.
Watrous to the bottom as Nathan Johnson backs out. So Watrous on the inside of Alex Anderson for the lead. Now he falls behind. He's going to be cleared by Anderson. Anderson clears them all. Johnson's going to try and get the run on the high lane and close that gap down to a race leader of Alex Anderson. Anderson trying to use this opportunity to pull away, but Johnson with a great run on the high lane. That's a good run down the back straightaway. Does he try anything going to turn 3? He does. Goes to the bottom. He gets side by side with Alex Anderson for the lead. So now Watrous, what will he do? He's got the opportunity now to maybe make a 3-wide move. He tried that earlier, a lap or 2 ago, but now Johnson's stuck on the bottom. The outside lane seems to be very good in this ARCA car. Now Watrous able to hold the outside lane very well. He's going to clear Johnson, but he's going to stay behind Anderson for now. Going to try and get the clean air up top, up to the middle, and it looks like it might work here. He's going to have to back up through the center of the corner to get tight up.
Scrapes the wall.
It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Is Anderson going to be able to pull away by about a 10th or so? But Johnson down to the bottom now, trying to seal this 2nd spot away. It's a better starting spot. Every spot is 3 positions on in the grid in the feature.
As back in 5th place, Karlinski, Dwayne Young fighting out Dwayne Young goes up to 5th. Watch for the crossover there. There's a crossover for Karolinski. Now this battle is going to allow these drivers behind Alan Kennedy, Albert Lopez to catch up. As once again, Dwayne Young will see inside. Karolinski shuts the door on a little bump and run there. I don't know if Karolinski kind of brake checked in there off the exit of turn 4. Something, definitely a strategy that you can use here.
Yeah, surprised Karolinski's car actually is still running pretty well after the incident he had. Still running well so far. But meanwhile, this battle for second still going on between Watrous and Johnson.
Nice, Julio this time by.
This is the 8th place in the starting lineup for the feature. Down to the bottom, Watrous on the outside. Johnson still holding the inside lane as best he can, but not able to do much down there. Really hard to maintain the run on the inside lane. Coming to the final lap for heat number 3. Watrous on the outside, Johnson on the inside. Johnson can't make a move, but side by side still. As Watrous clears for second. If he can hold on to it for one more lap. It's off the corner. Johnson has a really good run. He's going to go to the outside lane. Tries the outside there, not going to work. He goes back to the bottom. Contact. Watrous going to go sideways. He's going to save it. As Johnson's going to sneak through on the bottom to steal second. Maybe they're going to both go through the grass. AJ Hudson, he's almost was able to steal one of them, but Nathan Johnson still holds on to third.
Wow.
But Alex Anderson picks up the heat win.
That did not remind me of an iRacing finish. That reminded me of another game right there, finishing that way. But John Russo will get into the top 10 there, and he'll be into the main event.
And Russo able to hold on to 10th as Nate Bogus finishing 13th. So he's got a little bit of work to do through the LCQ. Before we get to the LCQ, let's take a quick look at our results for heat number 3. As Alex Anderson able to pick up heat number 3 win. Isaiah Watrous 2nd, Nathan Johnson 3rd, AJ Hudson 4th, Karolinski 5th, Dwayne Young in 6th, Alan Kennedy in 7th, Albert Lopez in 8th, Dylan Limp in 9th, and John Russo rounds out our top 10. John Peterson, Mark Cofield, Nate Bogus, Brian Marshall, and Darren Riverard will have to go to the LCQ. As meanwhile, they grit up right now. Let's go through our LCQ lineup here. As Christopher Busch starts on the pole, Michael Mom will start 2nd, John Peterson will start 3rd, Joey Beam will start 4th, starting 5th will be the 16 of Jordan Evans, Mark Cofield will start alongside him, 7th will be the 70 of Dylan Canova, Timothy Basketball will start 8th, 9th will be Nate Bogus, Timothy Presto will start 10th, Travis Sheed will start 11th, Brian Marshall will start 12th, 13th will be Dustin Coggin, 14th will be Jorge Ledesma Jr., 15th will be Dan Riverard, 16th will be the 20 of Zachary Tyler, and our 17 car LCQ field will be Christian Schreger. So a lot of work to do for those drivers outside that top 10. They have to get to the top 4 spots, 20 laps here in the LCQ. The top 4 move on and make the feature tonight. We'll see who will be able to go racing tonight and who will be packing up and going home and trying again next week.
It's going to be 20 laps in total, 5 more than the heat races, so not a lot longer, but just enough to maybe have some more tire wear involved here tonight.
And we'll see how it works out. I mean, we'll see a little bit of tire wear maybe at the very end of this, but Christopher Busch on the front row alongside Michael Malm. As green flags in the air, the LCQ is underway. Who will make the field? Who will go home? 20 laps to determine it here from Nashville Superspeedway. As off of turn number two down the back straightaway. Top two are clear of the field, but side by side for third. A little bit of contact between Peterson and Cofield. A bad push going into the corner. They're all going up the racetrack, and they're wrecking behind. Nate Bogus involved. Multiple cars involved. Dylan Canova involved as well. 4 or 5 cars involved off of turn 4, and that's going to be their night over. They have to quickly get back going. Hope for a lot of incidents, but that allows Christian Busch to pull away by a long shot.
As Canova, our Las Vegas winner, not going to be going to Nashville, not going to go in tonight's race.
Unfortunate for that 70 machine, but 3 wide for second now. Mark Cofield on the bottom, trying to make a move work. Able to make the inside lane, use the shorter distance on the racetrack. A little bit of contact going to the edge, and they're going to go around. Mark Cofield goes around. Jordan Evans involved. Collects Travis Sheen. Travis Sheen face plants into the wall. He's stuck in the wall. Huge hit there. As I mean, his entire cockpit got I think he got decapacitated there in turn 1. Travis Sheen, hard impacts. We may have lost Travis Sheen after that one. Huge hit there, just stuck in the wall.
There's no cautions in this LCQ or the heat races. The whole field is flipped over. So right now it's Christopher Busch out front, Brian Marshall third, Michael Malm third. Brian Marshall second, Michael Malm third.
And now Dan Reverark started 15th. He's got an opportunity. He thought his shot was over. Probably thought his shot was over. How bad he was starting in this field, and knew probably picking up 10 spots was not going to be enough time in 20 laps. But he's got an opportunity now, sitting in 5th. He's got 3 drivers in front of him battling for position. Something else can happen. Dustin Coggin on the inside of Michael Malm, trying to take 3rd away. Oh, there's a 20 machine. Zachary Tyler gets sideways going into the 1. Big save there, but that's going to cost him a lot of time if he wants to try and make the transfer.
See him, Justin Coggins to the outside. We're seconds. Trying to get a good run off of turn 2 here. Has the momentum down the back.
Goes to the inside, trying to get by Brian Marshall. Able to get into the 3. He's going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit. He's going to be able to clear Marshall for second. As Dan Reverark, he's lurking into the picture now, right behind Michael Malm for that final transfer spot to make tonight's field.
As we're not even halfway through this one quite yet, as Christopher Busch big lead over the rest of the field. If he can just manage his tires well, he'll be pretty good here in tonight's race. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens to him. 2-second lead in about 10 laps should be plenty safe to make it to the main event. There goes Dan Reverark to the outside. Trying to work his way around Michael Malm for that 4th place spot. Malm up the racetrack he goes. I think he might have clipped the inside apron there just ever so slightly.
Yeah, Reverark trying to use the outside lane to his advantage. Now he's going to look back to the bottom as Malm has the lane open. Reverark to the inside, side by side for that transfer spot halfway through the LCQ. Can't get it to work as Rebel Arc gonna have to try and find his way by. He's got time though, got plenty of time to make it happen. Each lap that ticks by will be less and less time, and the more aggressive he's gonna have to get on these moves. He wants an opportunity to make the field. Rebel behind Mom, as Mom is behind the 64 there of Brian Marshall. Brian Marshall, he's got to be careful too. Doesn't want to make any big mistakes. Could knock him out of this race.
Yeah, still pretty long way to go in this, relatively speaking, in this LCQ. He's got some lap traffic. Nate Boggess trying just to make some laps happen here.
To stay to the high lane and get out of the way for the leaders here. As Dustin Coggin able to pull away from these 3rd, 4th, and 5th place battle. Rebel Arc trying something. I mean, he's barely down the outside, has a little bit of a run, but it just kind of stalls out right when he get there. Just not enough. That's now Mom able to pull away a little bit. That's about a couple car length gap this time by. It'll be 5 to go. I think Rebel Arc struggle a little bit with his tires. We pushed him a little bit too much trying to get by Mom earlier. He's fallen really far back as Zachary Tyler might be able to have an opportunity to close in and steal 5th away. But spreading out really far now here in the final stages of this LCQ. We're starting to see tire come into play.
There's Michael Mobbs to the inside. It's 3 laps to go right now. Justin Coggin all the way from the rest of this pack behind him, so he's pretty safe to go to the main event. Same with Christopher Busch out front. It all comes down to these 3 gyros behind, pretty much. Right now, Dan Rebel Arc kind of slowly losing the pack up ahead.
Yeah, just falling more and more off the pace as Mom is able to keep in the draft there of Brian Marshall, but to pull away more and more. With 2 to go, the chances for Rebel Arc are falling away. Just needs to get to Mom and make a move around him, but just can't get close enough. Just hoping a big mistake from one of those drivers in front of him that gives him that opportunity to get there. It's just not enough for that 13 so far. It's just falling slowly back. He's pushing the outsides a little bit more, getting tighter off the corners. I think his tires are starting to give away, just not helping out, as now with 1 lap to go, it's gonna be Michael Mom going to be going to the last transfer spot. Anything happens here through 3 and 4, but Christopher Busch got the lead early and he just did not look back. He able to get a big lead. After all those incidents, Christopher Busch will win the LCQ. He will be in tonight's race as Michael Mom, the final transfer spots. He'll start last tonight. Zachary Tyler spinning now pit road.
Yeah, I think he tried to cut the course there and Yeah, it did not work out for him. This isn't a realistic simulator. But yeah, Crystal Bush wins the LCQ pretty much dominant fashion after all the wrecks kind of happened behind him. Just never really looked back. Was started on pole and finished on first.
Yeah, I was able to dominate the LCQ, but before we get to our feature, let's take a look at our finishing results for the LCQ. So Christopher Bush will start finishing first, Dustin Coggin second, and Brian Marshall third, Michael Blom. They'll be going to the feature here in just a few minutes. Daniel River will be our first driver out. Zachary Tyler, Jorge Elizabeth Jr., Christian Schrager, Nate Bogus, Mark Cofield, Jordan Evans, John Peterson, Travis Sheed, Tim McBasketball, Dylan Canova, and Timothy Presley and Joey Beam. They will be going home tonight and they'll have to pack it up next week for Watkins Glen. So while a warm-up is underway, we're gonna take a step away and get a quick break here from Nashville. We'll be right back for the feature.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Welcome back here to Nashville Super Speedway. Tonight we have the JuicySpydr Gaming 200 here for Nashville Super Speedway. We just wrapped up our LCQ. We determined our 36 car field for tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's JuicySpydr Gaming 200. Samuel Hoff on the front row alongside Travis Bieber. Jaron Skinner will start third. Daniel Monks will start fourth. Starting fifth will be Alex Anderson. Blake McClellan will start sixth. Donnie Kite will start seventh. Isaiah Walters will start eighth. Starting 9th will be the 25 of Jimmy Genkis. Skylar Jones will start 10th. Nathan Johnson will start 11th. Hunter Sr. will start 12th. Kaiser Rosie will start 13th. 14th will be AJ Hudson. Craig Martin will start 15th. 16th will be Jacob Wilson. Kyra Hodsky will start 17th. Ryan Houston will start 18th. 19th will be the 5 of Ruben Rodas. Dwayne Young will start 20th. 21st will be the 3 of Thomas Spencer. Cameron Craighead will start 22nd. Alan Kennedy will start 23rd. Michael James will start 24th. 25th will be the 95 Alex McQueen. Albert Lopez will start 26th. Jake Ballman will start 27th. Tate LeBret will start 28th. 29th will be the 55 of Dylan Lamb. Tyler Martin will start 30th. 31st will be the 14 of Nathan Pryor. John Russo will start 32nd. 33rd will be the 29 of Christopher Bush. Dustin Cog will start 34th. 35th will be the 64 of Brian Marshall. Around here is 36 car field tonight will be the 72 machine of Michael Malm. As they will, all these drivers will get ready to go for 150 laps here. The 1 1/3 mile concrete oval here of Nashville Super Speedway. So still sit on the grid getting ready to roll. As another note here, as Dwayne Young, he will have to serve a penalty to start this race, so he'll have to get down pit road as quick as possible. Maybe hope for a caution. Get back up to the field. And another news, Blake McClung, Albert Lopez, Jimmy Geikis, Jake Ballman, and Donnie Kay, they will all receive EOL penalties for the start of this race as well. And Dwayne Young will have to serve the drive-through, so.
Yeah, so a few penalties from last week at Pocono. One thing to mention, Hunter Sr. not grid up for tonight's race.
He just joined the session, so I wonder if something. Yeah, he dropped the packet loss earlier, so his internet connection. So he's gonna have to try and get back in as quick as possible, but it's Samuel Hoff and Travis Bieber on the front row as they're gonna delay the green there. Give him one extra lap. So here's the weather for tonight's race. Is here 7:19 in the sim, 67 degree ambient temperature, a 70 degree track temp, cloudy skies with 10-mile-per-hour wind to the coming from the south, and 87% relative humidity. So pretty humid day, humid night out here in the virtual Nashville Super Speedway. But it's going to be the 00 green machine of Samuel Hoff able to put it on the pole, and he was going to lead him to green alongside Travis Bieber, the 94. Those two did not have to run any laps at all through the heat, so this could be kind of a shock a little bit maybe. Once the tire wear, they don't really have any race practice with those heats. So we'll see if these drivers, what will be better, the more rest with no heats or the better experience in the heats with the race runs. With the race truck, gonna take that hard left turn onto pit road. Hoff, Bieber leading him to the Geico research zone. The JuicySpydr Gaming 200 is underway.
Hoff easily clears out in front over Travis Bieber as Jared's going up to second now. As Travis Bieber drops down to third after starting second place. As they're fanning out 2 wide, 3 wide at some points on this racetrack like we've seen in the heat races.
First driver side by side is Travis Beaver, Alex Anderson battling for third. As they're side by side for about 3 rows deep after third place. Now Beaver clears Anderson for third. Now Nathan Johnson and Isaiah Walters stay side by side for that top 5 spot. Right behind them, you got Connor Savosian working his way up.
Got a little tight there. Almost some contact between Savosian and Isaiah Walters as they single file out down the back.
Just trying to settle in line here, get in line and get into this run. A long run tonight. Could get a long run here tonight.
Yeah, fuel window is around 35 to 40 laps, so expect a 3-stop race if we say we're in the whole race, which is unlikely, but still, you have to pay at least probably 3 times here tonight.
Yeah, probably the most ideal strategy would be 40, 80, 120. If you can make it that long, I mean, you have 40 laps for a run and still have a little bit of shorter at the very end there. So, a pretty narrow window of strategies, I would say.
It's not very wide. Maybe like a 2 to 4 or 5 lap maybe buffer between strategies, but not much though.
But maybe try it every 35 laps. That wouldn't be an extra stop there. Actually, that would be an extra stop there. But yeah, but really only a 2-3 lap window. You gotta make it at least 37-38 laps to evenly split it.
I see most of the already single file out. Just like I mentioned this before, Nashville SuperStar, just kind of a one groove racetrack. Really, you can't really run the top side quickly. If you're side by side with someone, you can stay side by side, but once you single file out, the fastest lane is just around that yellow line.
Yeah, saw the outside lane work a little bit through those heats. They was able to get the runs off the corners, but it's just that inside lane was good enough. You just had a good enough handling car down there. As these cars, a lot of these cars seem to be very tight. Side by side for now. Back with Craig Martin here for 8. As now Skylar Jones trying to make an opportunity down at the bottom. Craig Martin going to say side by side.
That's for the race lead. Jared Skinner getting around Seymour Hoff. It's Hoff down the second, side by side with Travis Beaver now, as Skinner leads his first lap of the night.
Yeah, Skinner was very good through that first heat, and he's going to try to continue that momentum into the main events here, as he's able to get the race lead early on here around lap number 9. He started P3. They clear Beaver quickly for second, and now he's our race leader, so he's going to try and pull away. So you're on lap number 9, coming to lap number 10. So we're already about a quarter of the way through this first run. So everyone's going to have to start coming down pit road. Now going into sunset as well, coming into the nighttime, it will be, these drivers are going to have to triangle along a little bit, because the track will get faster and faster. You're going to be able to burn maybe a lap or 2 more of fuel. So the fuel window could only be about 38 by the end of this, depending on how much the track picks up.
Yeah, right now the front pack pretty big in size, around 7 deep, pretty much. Isaiah Walters, the last driver there. Maybe one of these drivers might be fuel saving a little bit. Let's go on board, see him off, so you can hear him like kind of just on the gas, off the gas a lot more.
Caution's out already.
Oh, right.
Caution.
Isaiah.
Alex Anderson goes around out the corner.
I think he checked up for the caution. and I think Zabosian was behind him and didn't realize it. I think that's what happened. Is we'll take a look at that. Then the caution is happening right in front of us. So the caution's out right here. Oh no, actually, whoa, that was Travis Bieber just checked up for no reason off of turn 4. I guess because the caution came out.
Caution
Right
came out,
there.
he thought he was going to get on the wall. It looks like he got a little loose.
Yeah. So 2 separate incidents possible? Yeah, it's got, I guess, loose. I mean, he didn't look crazy out of control, but for the cause of the caution, though, it's further on back possibly. Yeah, Justin Coggin right there. 46 says Dylan Lamp, I believe that's who it was.
Yeah, Dylan Lamp, Dustin Coggin involved. They'll back down the track. One car able to get out of the way there.
I guess he was trying to avoid Alex McQueen on the inside there. Got a good run off of turn 2. McQueen checked up just a little bit. And McQueen was drifting up the racetrack, and Lamp just kind of overreacted, in my opinion, to that. But I mean, he has no front end, but I think he can repair that. But still, unfortunate for Justin Coggin and a few others, as Alex Anderson down pit lane, Daniel Molnick's down pit lane, Donnie Kite down pit lane. So some of our front runners taking fuel only even. So I don't know if that's the right call there. Fuel only with how important track position has been so far tonight. I don't know. That's kind of a risky call in my opinion. Well, actually, Donnie Kite was in the back as well, so. I mean, if you're in the back already, fuel here could be a good strategy call. I mean,
yeah, you can lengthen these runs a little bit. Go a little bit longer after the end of it, past that 40. It opens up a little bit more strategy there.
There's
with
also
that fuel.
Another thing, Tate LaPrette out of tonight's race already. Don't know what happened to him. He's 10 laps down in 36th. So he's already out for tonight.
Now everyone filing back up, getting ready. Now everyone getting it tightly packed up, a double file. Jared Skinner and Sammy Hoff out on the front row. So those guys staying out, but pace cars off and back underway here from Nashville. Skinner going to get a great jump. He's going to clear Hoff before he even get into one. They stay side by side for second though between Nathan Johnson and Travis Bieber.
This was side by side for third there. Let's watch out because Connor Zabosian and Nathan Johnson with a great launch off for turn 2. Get a clear easily over third.
Yeah, good run down the back straightaway. Here comes out here, watch us to the outside lane of Travis Bieber as well. You have a few guys who just pitted. If any of those took tires, they're going to try to work their way up through the field as quick as possible. So keep an eye on those drivers as well. Stout to be able to pull away by a little bit. Everyone getting mostly settled in here. Everyone mostly single file. Still a few drivers here side by side in this middle pack, kind of as Connor Sposey maybe thinks about 3 wide middle there. Thinks better of it. We're gonna stick to the bottom now, side by side with Isaiah Watchers, I believe.
Yeah, and Ultras still side by side. Off of turn four, like we mentioned, gets really tight. As soon as I say that, wall just clips the outside wall barely. Smoke and sparks come off his race car.
Is how everyone single files out there. To the inside there, the 5 machine, side by side with the Waltrus. This road is trying to move his way up through the field. Cameron Craig trying to follow it through as well. Skylar Jones as well, right behind there. So a lot of battles here for 8th. Big battle for 8th here.
A lot of battling in this mid-pack, just kind of we saw in the heats. The top few drivers kind of single filed out. A lot of side-by-side action in the mid-pack to the backpack. Zoo Hudson in the outside wall there, got tight off the forward.
The wall there. Yeah, this pack here is still kind of battling, but a huge battle to the back. We're seeing 3 wide, everyone kind of scrambling everywhere just outside the top 15.
There's a wreck
car around, big
wall.
wreck hard the outside wall. Car around there as well. Another around 2 or 3 cars involved.
That's a Lopez, I believe, and I think Donnie Kite might be involved. Yeah, Kite's involved. He doesn't have too bad damage. Christopher Bush, that was the car that hit the wall, outside wall hard. As him and Donnie Kite make contact.
Yeah, Monix. He's clear of it, but Donnie Kite, yeah, just Bush kind of trying to block it a little bit late, and hard on the outside wall, clips that 62, I believe that was the 62 machine.
Yeah, Albert Lopez there. Not sure if Kite came up or Bush came down. I think they kind of may have met in the middle there, but Bush kind of got some dirty air. Yeah, I think they kind of just met in the middle.
Kite saw the moment, thought Bush was just going to miss the corner there. And the Bush tried to get down to miss it, I think, and just kind of, they both met in the middle, just made a little bit of contact, and that caused the incident there.
And this all kind of starts last week with Donnie Kite getting EOL for this week for the incidents last week, and he's hasn't really been able to make his way up through the field quite as much. He was quick in the heat races, quick in qualifying, but when you're back in the pack, especially a track like Nashville, track position is super, super important. As everyone coming out pit lane probably for full tank of fuel and 4 tires.
Everyone taking 4 tires here is, shoot, one driver able to get them all off of pit road there. Skylar Jones actually jumps everyone off of pit road.
Jones, fuel only for him.
Well, if he took he hit the last caution and take tires.
As the 3 drivers that stayed out pitted the last caution, trying just to get some track position. Daniel Molnix, Alex Anderson, Tyler Martin.
So a little bit of a shakeup with that caution. It's going to shuffle a few guys out front. So that's going to be Daniel Walnix, Alex Anderson, Tyler Martin, Skylar Jones to the top 4. So I believe they pitted last caution. They're going to stay out here. With that caution, you kind of split the race every 35 laps. don't think you could, but you could try and stretch it to a two-stop. You need to at least go 43 laps on fuel. It's gonna be a big ask for that, but I don't think that's really gonna be possible. But now Daniel Walnick's on the front row, and Alex Anderson down on the bottom. Just gonna lead him back to the green here. We're just under 130 to go. The green flag back in the air. Walnick's easily clear for the lead. Skylar Jones follows through, but where Samuel Hoff go on the brand new tires? A side-by-side for second between Anderson and Jones. Down the back straightaway. Samuel Hoff and the four machine there of Tyler Martin. Sitting right behind him. A little bit of contact between Anderson and Jones. Off of turn number 4. They stay side-by-side for second as Daniel Walnick's able to pull away. As Hoff pushing Jones down the front straightaway. Going to try and get into one. Try and push Jones fully clear, and he will.
It's 3 wide there. Tyler Martin's falling back quickly on those older tires.
A little bit of contact between Anderson and Hoff. Oh, contact! Bieber goes around through the grass. Wilson goes around as well. Wilson's going to go back on the track, I believe. Caution's back out. He's going to collect a few other drivers. Huge hits there for a lot of drivers.
Nathan Johnson, I believe, involved also as well.
Nathan Johnson got hit pretty hard there as well. I saw them sliding back up the track, knowing that could be a big incident there. That brings out our third caution of the night.
Oh man, what a hit.
Dwayne Young involved as well.
This was the Jacob Wilson incident. As Bieber, you can see Nathan Johnson just kind of tagged him there. Then I think
Rodas got tagged and kind of hooked down into Wilson, and then Wilson runs through the grass and right into the lane of Dwayne Young. And there's going to be at least 3 or 4 drivers going to be done for the night after that one.
because Dwayne Young pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say it's his fault, but I mean, he's flying in there. Everyone else is checking up. He's still on the gas right here, still on the gas, and then he's braking at that point. I mean, caution's already out easily. See car spinning there. As I knew it was gonna be pretty treacherous as off of turn 4 just so tight, and when you're 3 wide, 2 wide, so many rows deep, someone just makes a little mistake, and that's what all it takes really.
Yeah, it caused just a few little mistakes there, caused a big incident that takes out multiple drivers, and that's going to bring out our third caution of the night here early on in this race. But now with that caution, if you're towards the back and you somehow do get a long green flag run, it could make it a 2-stop race. You can go 40, 80, 120 to the end, because once we get back going green here, we'll be about 121 to go. So it's going to be right there at that fuel window. They'll double them back up, Molnix and Jones on the front row, so they're able to hold their own up front there. That little bit of a run we had. So see if these drivers up front, if they can hold their own a little bit longer. Knowing they're on the slightly older tires for Skylar Jones and Daniel Monix. As Samuel Hoff and Jared Skinner are able to clear Tyler Martin of Alex Anderson, who stayed out, or fuel only. But now the pace car going to take that hard left turn on to pit road. We'll restart with 121 laps to go. So just a long way to go here from Nashville. Green flag back in the air. Jones and Monix on the front row. Monix to hit the loud pedal. He's going to easily clear the field. So he's been taking the outside lane on these restarts. And he's been liking it so far. He's able to get a big run and a good arc down into one. Now Jared Skinner going to try and stick to the outside of Skylar Jones. Off at number 2, down the back straightaway. Jones able to maybe get cleared there, but no, not going to be enough. As Hoff's going to clear now, as Jones will fall all the way behind Connor Sabosian. Now Sabosian's able to stick side by side with Sabosian, but Sabosian is going to be able to clear off at turn number 2.
Oh, right in the back.
4.
Michael James around. And that's going to bring out another caution here tonight, I believe. Yes, it will.
Another caution, our 4th caution of the night.
Another driver involved
98
there.
also involved there as well, of Ryan Houston.
So James just kind of came up the racetrack, cut the nose off.
Right in the
Tyler
Martin. Yeah, Tyler Martin got shoved up the racetrack by Ruben Rodis. And he just met off the corner, and yeah, just kind of met in the middle off the corner. Michael James has turned around. And right in front, Houston
was already spinning through
lost
the glass.
himself.
Or trying to avoid the wreck, possibly?
Just lost it on the brakes and just spun back up the track.
Slightly tops the wall.
outside wall.
Should be fine. Just gotta repair that probably a little bit.
And he'll come down pit road and repair it now, but Monix holds the lead over Skinner. And the Scotch will take this moment to step away. We'll be right back here from Nashville. Welcome back here to Nashville SuperSpydr for the JuicySpydr Gaming 200 I just had wrapping up our fourth caution of the night as Monix and Skinner on the front row, and Daniel Monix taking the outside lane once again on this restart. Seems to be working for him so far these past few restarts. See if he can do it again and get clear going into the one over Jared Skinner. But off turn number 4, the pace car is off, and we're back underway here for Nashville. Monix off to a great start again. He's clear of Skinner going down into turn 1 as Sebastian trying to use the outside lane to his advantage. It can't get alongside Skinner there. Much faster through the center of the corner though. Able to stay to the outside there just for a second. But not able to do anything is actually you will. He's going to be side by side. Sebastian able to clear, maybe going to 3 is the outside lane, working well for that 45 machine, but Skinner with the run back on the bottom to stay side by side for second. There's a little bit of contact behind them. Skylar Jones, Alex Anderson back for about 5th. It's kind of similar battles here. Skinner able to clear going down to the 1 and 2. He clears Sebastian and Hoff slots in behind him. They stay side by side for 5th between Jones and Anderson. A little bit of contact with Anderson to get clear. Jones will slot in line.
That's side by side behind them. Cameron Craig Mars. Ooh, a couple cars in the outside wall off of turn 4. What a position game for Justin Coggin. How to go through the LCQ, but he's up to the top 10 spot right now in 9th.
Also was in one of those incidents earlier on, able to escape with no damage, limited damage. He was able to get it back and fix, so he's working his way back up through the field. Having a great run so far.
Single file out through most of the field. A couple drivers still on the outside wall, but I think these guys have kind of calmed down. A lot of these drivers involved in wrecks. We got around 10 plus cars out of tonight's race already, not even 1/3 of the way through.
And meanwhile, battle for lead. Jared's here to the bottom of Daniel Wallneck. Sebastian pushing that 7 machine of Skinner through the corner. Skinner's going to try and pull the slider off of 4. Not going to be enough. Moldex barely holds the outside lane. Still going to stay side by side. Going to be a cool, much more alongside. Almost able to get his nose clear going down to the 3. Into 1. Skinner stays to the bottom. Is going to get tight off on turn number 2. Moldex is able to clear, and Skinner might be under attack here from Connor Sebastian. But here comes Alex Anderson. He's going to move to the outside of Samuel Hoff as Hoff was trying to stay in line and push Sebastian. It's now Anderson slots back in line, top 5 to 6, nose to tail now. Trying to push each other up farther away. Moldex holding the outside lane, holding the lead well up front so far. He'll hold off Jared Skinner using the outside lane to his advantage.
He's doing a good job on those older tires. Nashville, like I mentioned before many times, not the easiest place to pass, as we have a big group of cars right here. This first pack goes all the way down to Hunter Sr. in 14th. Had the pit start here tonight. He's already up inside the top 15. That just shows how many drivers have been involved in wrecks. Sonic up to 12th, but involved in the wreck or 2 himself also.
Top 5 to 6, single file, but everyone's right here, nose to tail. No one's staying off each other's bumper.
As we're a little bit past the halfway point on these guys' fuel run. They've been around these tires and fuel for around 22 laps. Obviously had a few caution laps in between, so maybe a little bit more, like 45 or so they can go on this fuel tank. So Daniel Molnix, though, 31 laps on for him since his last pit stop. So he got to pit around 8 laps earlier than some of these drivers. But here comes Jared Skinner for the race lead.
Back to the bottom. He is on a little bit of older tires compared to the rest of the field, but he is going to have to. He's holding on very well. As now they kind of split up this front pack a little bit as Craig Martin got side by side with Alex Anderson. Anderson moves up to
hard on
fourth,
the
but
outside. Molnix hit the wall for turn 4. Doesn't seem to slow him down too much.
he's going to hold the outside here as best he can. They stay side by side with Sabosian, but Skinner's clear off a 2. He's going to be able to get it done as Molnick's not going to have a good enough run to stay alongside. As Sabosian now stays side by side, he's going to try and make the move for second. Anderson trying to follow through, trying to push him through. Sabosian has to check it up on the inside lane as Molnick still fighting on the outside lane is good so far. He's trying to chase down back for the race lead on Daniel Molnick. Jared Skinner. Molnick still to be outside, but contact a little bit with Sabosian. This is going to get a little bit sideways. He's going to hold on to it up the racetrack they go. That's going to allow Skinner to pull away, but staying side by side for second still. Sabosian is barely down the bottom. Hoff trying to find his way through. A little bit of contact there with Alex Anderson. So Hoff able to get back by Anderson. Is now Daniel Molnick able to clear Sabosian. Sabosian falling backwards now. This guy, the chaotic, very quick up front.
Skinner now has a little bit of gap over Daniel Molnix. Can he try to pull away from these guys behind and try to stretch his lead out before these pit stops happen? As Donnie Kite trying to move himself up the 6th inside of Skylar Jones for now.
Side by side here, Donnie Kite in an instant earlier trying to work his way back out through the field. Staying side by side with Skylar Jones. To a third of the way through this race is now Kite able to clear Jones. Is Coggin trying to work his way up through as well. Get side by side with Cameron Craighead. Is Craighead able to clear and Coggin not with a good run on the bottom. Not able to make much speed down there. Meanwhile, up front, Daniel Molnick's under attack here from Samuel Hoff as they actually close the gap down on Jared Skinner.
As Jared Skinner getting caught up from these guys behind. Gap now down to 1/10 and 1 car length now as here comes Daniel Molnix. Trying to get up to him now.
Yeah, Daniel Molnix trying to get that lead back as Skinner's starting to fall off here in the midpoint of this run. It's top 5 back to nose to tail single file. These drivers just trying to take the different lines, trying to get the run off the corner, run into the corner. See kind of Malnick's kind of backing up the center, trying to get a good run off the corner. Skinner just kind of maintain corner speed through the center. Just kind of see these different lines each of these drivers are taking. So Malnick gets a good run down the back straightaway. Looks to the inside here of Jared Skinner for the lead. He's going to be able to make the move side by side for lead now. Malnick's going to try and pull the slider. Not going to be enough. Skinner stays to the outside off turn 4.
Got a little tight there. Simulov having to block Alex Anderson there entering 1. 2 by 2 by 2. 3 rows deep. 3 wide
here
now.
Here comes Donnie Kite to the bottom.
As Hoff had a
Donnie
terrible
Kite
entry.
moves up to 4th. Yeah, Kite took a very shallow entry there, trying to make a move. But they're still side by side for lead. And here comes Alex Anderson. He said that he can have his say in this battle. Does he go 3 wide? Does he try and push one of these drivers through? See what he does. But Alex Anderson off of turn number 4.
Some contact.
He's got the move to the middle, but he's going to stick behind Skinner and push Skinner out clear for the lead once again as they stay side by side for second between Alex Anderson and Daniel Malnick.
As pit stop's going to be happening up here shortly in the next 10 laps or so, maybe even sooner than that. These guys have been on this fuel for about 35 laps, and Daniel Malnick and Alex Anderson 44 laps since the last time they pitted. There have been some caution sprinkled as Zabozi hits the outside wall. So we'll see when they do come down pit lane, probably around lap 62, I would have to say, about 5 laps or so.
Ideally, they would want to stretch it as long as they can and get to the 80 to go. Because if they pit before 80 to go, they're gonna have to make a 2-stop race. They have to make a 3-stop race. It's gonna be a bad strategy for them. If you can at least make it to 80 to go, they can make it, or maybe 82. They could probably try to stretch it a little bit and make it a 2-stop race. But everyone who pitted that last car, well, not the last caution, but around lap 30, they can make it on a 2-stop strategy. So all of them could be a little close, but we did have all those cautions that could help them make it that far. But Jared Skinner holds the lead as Malnick starting to fall back a little bit. Anderson was able to clear him. Now Zabozi and Stig side by side. Malnick's on the inside lane. He's been doing pretty well on the bottom. Josie able to clear on the outside lane, able to clear Daniel Malnick. Down on the 3, Donnie Kent on the outside lane. Malnick's to come down pit road. So Malnick's to come down pit road. 90 laps to go. Gonna have to make a 2-stop. Two more stops in this race.
As Anderson got to come down pit lane here soon as well, as there he goes down pit lane. So he pits a lap later than Daniel Malnick, as everyone else has to pit probably around in about 5 laps or so. Big is Downey Kite. He pitted last caution, I believe, 34 laps ago. So he has the most fuel in the top 5. So he can stretch this out a bit longer than everyone else.
We'll see if any of these drivers, if they can stretch it to lap 70, they can make it a 2-stop race. The only time in the pit before that, will have to make an extra stop. So we'll see if anyone can go about 7 more laps. As Jared Skinner's able to pull away a little bit from that. The 4-car Tyler Martin down pit road here as well.
Also one of the drivers that stayed out.
Another driver down pit road. And the drivers who stay out at that last caution start to come down pit road. So right now, Donnie Kite moving up to second. He's making a good run. He got involved in the incident early. A few more coming down pit road. Dale Watchers down pit road. Skylar Jones as well. So they're going to have to, those drivers stayed out. Well, Skylar Jones stayed another driver down pit road as well. So cars starting to flood down pit road here. Keep an eye. If anyone can make it past lap 70, this could be a race, a win in their hands. If we stay green for long enough, they'll be able to shorten, kind of stop compared to everybody else. More coming out pit road here, but a caution's out of the racetrack. Cameron Crickhead had a view of that. They're saying it was wrecking on the radio. Wow, that's gonna throw a wrench in everything as people were just coming down drivers were just coming down pit road.
Yeah, it was Alex Anderson, I believe.
Alex Anderson, Daniel Malnix.
Not the people who want to have a caution caused a caution. I guess, and maybe we'll see what happens here.
Take a look.
Yeah, Malnix just got tight, I think.
That's head-on entry, just kind of met in the middle, just didn't really get that front turned down the corner.
And surprisingly, that was a caution. I mean, Anderson was pretty sideways, so there was a caution there.
And now that makes this a little interesting because now we're gonna have to pit, or we're gonna restart with about 80, just under 80 to go. So that will make this a very tight one-stop race. See if Donnie Kite, see if he gets to lead off pit road. A bad stop for Jared Skinner, loses multiple spots on pit road as Connors Bosian able to get the race lead off of pit road. As that's going to be a little bit of a shakeup at the front of the field. A lot of drivers have to stay out and take the wave around because a lot of drivers came down pit road before that caution came out. So, few drivers will be, so a lot of drivers will be getting the wave around here. You're actually coming down pit road, so Nathan Fryer, AJ Hudson, Tyler Martin, Alex Anderson, Alex McQueen, Cameron Craighead, Daniel Malnix, Ryan Houston, be all getting a wave around here. A few of those drivers being multiple laps down. Have a lot of work to do if they want to get their laps back. But I mean, a lot of carnage early on in this race. We're down to leave only 28 cars running on the racetrack. At least to the last one being 9 laps down. So only down, it's about 20 cars on the lead lap. Connor Sabozzi and Donnie Kite will be on the front row. As Jared Skinner, he'll fall back to fourth after that pit stop. Green flag back out on the racetrack as Connor Savosian able to get a great jump. The push of Samuel Hoff right behind him. 3 JuicySpydr machines clear of the lead so far. These drivers have been working well together all season. Savozzi quickly clear. The top 3 clears. Jared Skinner sitting there in 4th. Also JuicySpydr machine as well. So JuicySpydr dominant so far up front as he just restarted, just under 80 laps to go. Hunter Sr. now side by side with Craig Martin as Martin clears. So Hunter Sr. internet connection issues before this race even started. He had to start. He had to start for the pits. He's worked his way all the way up to the top 5. A great drive for Hunter Sr. in that 42 machine tonight. Up into 6th.
Yeah, we look at most positions gains though. Right now it's Justin Coggin up 27. Now he sits in 7th place, and you got Brian Marshall, Anders Bosen, Nathan Fryer, Thomas Spencer.
Hunter Sr. he had started from the back. He had a really good starting. He would have started a really good starting spot. Started 12th. That's why he's only sitting. So he's technically only +6 compared to the thing. But he's worked his way all the way up from the back tonight. So he went to the rear. We had a lot of drivers that went to the rear tonight. It's Blake McClung, Albert Lopez, Jim McGuikis, Jake Ballman, and Donnie Kite all went to the back of the field to start. As Donnie Kite, also one of those drivers, is worked his way up from the back tonight. Worked his way up to 3rd. So originally was starting 7th tonight. Kaiser Wilson is starting 13th tonight. He's worked his way up big time up to the front. Mostly everyone's single file right now. Getting settled in. We'll wonder if we're maybe could see a little bit of fuel saving from these drivers.
Yeah, I definitely could. I mean, halfway through this one, it'll be tight on fuel, but I don't think, just knowing how this race is played out, I just don't know if we're going to go a full 75, 80 laps green the rest of the way. So I don't know if you want to risk fuel saving, going a little slower, losing some track position, just to go on a what if we go green the whole way. But I mean, you ever know, someone in the back could maybe just do that strategy with that and have nothing much to lose, you know?
I think it was right. It was right on that number. They restarted with about 80 to go, so they didn't pit with about 82. So it could be a little close. They'd have a couple pace laps that burnt a little bit of fuel off, but it could be close right there on that one-stop strategy. If you're staying at the track now, the track has probably cooled down a little bit as we've fallen into the night. Get further and further into the night, the track will get a little bit quicker, burn a little bit more fuel, but now Jared Skinner looking on the inside of his teammate of Donnie Kite, side by side for 3rd. Craig Martin trying to find his way through. Donnie Kite into the wall for turn 4. Still with the contact, but side by side for the lead now is Sabosian. He's under attack from Samuel Hoff for the lead. Off to the bottom, going to try and clear for the lead. He will off of turn number 2. Well, Sabosian get the run and cross him over down the back straightaway. He doesn't have enough of a run. He's going to stick behind Samuel Hoff as Hoff takes the race lead away from the 45 machine of Connor Sabosian.
Yeah, Hoff pole position now back up front. Past halfway in this one. And he try to go back to back here. One last week at Pocono. Gonna try to win here on Nashville. He'd be the first repeat winner of the season.
Trying to get another win on the season. Guys, Rosen, a reigning champion, try to continue this great running after the start of the season.
Side by side, Donnie Kite, Connor Sebastian. Sebastian gonna try to win this battle, but Kite not giving up too easily.
Catching him at bottom, saving his tires a little bit better maybe. Gets to run off of turn 4, down the front straight away. Stay side by side, Jared's gonna right behind him. Craig Martin also, he's trying to make his moves up through the field as here comes Donnie Kite. He's gonna clear Connor Sebastian, and he does, so got Donnie Kite up to second. He's gonna try chase down Samuel Hoff for the race lead. He's gonna draft down to the 3. Not going to be enough yet. These top 6 have pulled away from the rest of the field by a few car lengths. A few car lengths back to 7th of Dustin Collin, and a few car lengths back to the 8th place driver, Travis Beaver. About a second, half a second to a second back from the rest of the field. But now Donnie Kite looks to the inside for the race lead. Tries to use the inside to his advantage. Hoff on the outside, trying to use the runs he can build on the outside lane. Not enough as yet off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Kite getting help from Skinner on the bottom. Hoff getting help from Sebastian on the outside lane. Sebastian pushing Hoff, but right now it's all Kite out front. You see clear Samuel Hoff for the race lead. And Donnie Kite takes the lead away. Jared Skinner sitting in 3rd there, side by side with Connor Sebastian, but all that battling up front allowed Craig Martin and Hunter Sr. to kind of get into the mix of things. They're side by side. It's now Hunter Sr. Hoff back to the bottom for the lead. Is now Kite on the outside and Hoff on the bottom, so the roles reversed here. Still early on this run, these guys have to be careful. Don't want to burn up their tires too much. Save a little bit for that last half of the run.
Hoff can get a little tight.
Side by side. Still side by side for lead. Hoff on the bottom. Gonna wrap the yellow line good, but here comes Jared Skinner. He dives to the bottom. Hoff's gonna get into the Kite. That's gonna make him sideways up the racetrack they go. Kite, a great save there, but that's gonna cost him multiple spots. He's gonna fall back to 4th. Gonna be side by side with Hunter Sr. I think Hoff's just kind of psyched out there by Jared Skinner sending that move to the bottom. I think Skinner just took that move and psyched out Samuel Hoff, and Hoff slid up the racetrack into Donnie Kite.
Now his teammates yell and make contact there, but they still fall back out. They're gonna try to catch up back up to Jared Skinner. This happened earlier in the race. Skinner pulled out to about half a second lead over these guys, but they rallied back within about 5 laps. So if they can work together, they can maybe catch back up to the 7 machine up ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt their tires, so they gotta be a little bit careful. You gotta cool it down a little bit. Especially after that big slide that Donnie Kite just had. So they were able to get back by those few drivers, Craig Martin and Hunter Sr. and Connor Sebastian. So now Hoff and Kite up to 2nd and 3rd once again, but now they have to catch Jared Skinner for the lead. Single file through this first bit of the field. Now actually Craig Martin got out of the wall for turn 4 there.
There's 3 wide in the pack behind them. There's some contact. Skyler Jones, Alex Anderson, Karolinski around 10th place. Here comes Daniel Mullins, going to make it through right into turn 3. Karolinski giving them no room on the bottom.
Yeah, Molnix is running up front after that strategy call, but had to pit early and then had the risk of the caution. And the caution came out, and that cycled him towards the back of the field. Now he can also, this also could work out bad for him again. He's got to pit a little bit earlier because he had to take the wave around. Right in front of Daniel Waldix, Alex Anderson, Skylar Jones staying side by side. This is a big battle for about 11th here. It's about halfway through this run. So 60 to go here from Nashville. As Jared Skinner holds the lead, as Donnie Kite into the wall behind him, along with Samuel Hall. They both got the wall off before there. Oh, it's Jared Skinner slowing to 1. As Donnie Kite down to the outside. That's a good run off of turn number. It's a really good run off of turn 4. As Kite now on the outside, Hoff's gonna push Skinner down to the bottom. Skinner a shallow entry into 3. Kite's gonna try to stay side by side. Kite off of turn 4. He's gonna be able to clear for the lead once again. Hoff trying to push Skinner back up to Kite. But not enough.
As it goes Skinner once again to the inside. Lines up the racetrack. Some contact off of turn 4. Here comes Emil Hoff. He's got to have a good run off of turn 4. Will he make it 3 wide on these race leaders?
Trying to make a move, but they're side by side for the lead. Hoff right behind him. As Kite trying to hold the outside, but can't do it that time. Skinner clears. Hoff now under attack here from Hunter Sr. on the outside lane. Senior with a good run, but he's getting side drafted by Connor Shabozian, just kind of able to stay even. Kite back to the outside of Skinner, side by side into 3. Senior trying to follow Skinner through, get a little bit of dirty air off the corner. For Donnie Kite. But Hunter Senior trying to hold the outside of Samuel Hoff, but Samuel Hoff actually able to clear, but he's going to back up to the bottom. Going to stand to the bottom and try to wrap the line behind Jared Skinner. It's this battle for the lead still raging on. All these drivers battling for this lead as now Skinner gets cleared by Kite going into 3. Skinner trying to fight back off of turn number 4. Lap car of Tyler Martin stays out of the way. As these top 6 have not left each other at all this entire run. Now top 8 actually. As this pit stop coming up here in about 15 laps, can any of these drivers stretch it that long? You know, it could be a little tight on a one-stop race. Donnie Kite off of turn 4, able to hold the lead over Jared Skinner, but Jared Skinner has a good run. Doesn't have an opportunity to make a move down to the top or bottom. He's gonna stick to the bottom, try to get a little bit of air on the front. Oh, there's a little contact there in the corner. Big check up through the center, and that's going to cause a big check up the whole accordion through the whole front pack. Craig Martin's going to go around off of turn 2, and that's going to bring the caution out off of turn number 2. As Craig Martin.
Also Travis Bieber as well. As a
So kind of a weird contact there. Jared Skinner just all of a sudden just kind of stopped through the center of the corner. They had a little bit of netcode contact with Donnie Kite. It just kind of brought it to a stop like it was a huge accordion. Kind of weird, just kind of weird how it quickly stopped him like that. It just caused a big accordion throughout the rest of the front pack. And it finally set Craig Martin around.
Dustin Coggin, Craig Martin, and Travis Bieber as well involved. As everyone probably got coming up pit lane here with about 50 laps to go when we go back green.
Yeah, so now Donnie Kite will be the race leader. We'll see if he can hold the lead off of pit road. Actually has a pretty good gap on pit entry there, so no one behind him able to stay up close to him. But Donnie Kite will be the race leader. We'll see if anyone tries to be bold and maybe take a two-tire strategy call. I don't think that really can work here. They will have to make a pit stop. So they cannot make it to the finish with this stop. Donnie Kite first in, he's gonna be first out. He'll be the race leader when we go back to green. And Jared Skinner, Samuel Hall, Hunter Sr. up to 4th. And Connor Zavosian round out the top 5. Donnie Kite, Jared Skinner. So Kite will take the outside lane. Outside lane has been a good choice for on these. It's what these leaders have been choosing on the restarts. Saw it happen with Daniel Monix when he was up front. Now he's up in the top 8. So Daniel Monix, that caution helped him close back the gap, get back up to the front. So we'll see with Daniel Monix what he can do. Now he's back up in the top 10.
Yeah, it's going to be a 50 laps to go when we go back green. So still one pit stop left in this race if we stay green the whole 50 laps. So we'll see how this shakes out here.
Yeah, off of turn number 4 is Donnie Kite.
Wow.
Big jump.
Jump to restart.
That's going to be a black flag. Jump to restart. But very early, as soon as the pace car went off.
Yeah, I guess he didn't realize they had the restart zone rules, but that checks up the rest of the field.
That's going to shake
As Jared
up
Skinner also has a penalty. Hunter Sr. as well has a penalty. Daniel Monix has a penalty. Will any of those be cleared? I don't believe so. So
4 drivers with the penalty, and that is being cleared for Hunter Sr. As I think because they just reacted to Donnie Kite jumping to start. So yeah, the Jared Skinner, Hunter Seniors, and Daniel Monix will be cleared. Donnie Kite will have to serve his penalty.
So I guess that's just the inexperience from never starting in the front row in first place, as Jerry Skinner now has a race lead.
I just didn't know. I think it was his first time restarting on the front row tonight. It just didn't know the restart zone was there.
That's a tough break right there.
Yeah, he's had to work his way from the back, but yeah, he had to start from the back tonight, and now that actually helped Daniel Monix up to the front a little bit more, but Jared Skinner holds the lead. Monix goes around into one a little bit, and the car on the wall. Multiple cars on the wall there.
Let's see a quick replay what happened there. I think it was Skylar Jones actually in the wall.
Oh, Jones, yeah. Actually, I think I had the car on the grass there. The multiple cars into the wall, but they're able to keep it going.
Yeah,
this is the Xfinity logo that I thought. But now up in front, Jared Skinner has a little bit of a gap to Connor Sabosian. As now Sabosian, Hoff, second and third, is now Anderson up to fourth. Now the top five kind of nose the tail a little bit. The front of the pack kind of starting to stretch out a little bit, but Sabosian closing that gap back down, 45 to go. So everyone's gonna have to make an extra stop. So the longest someone can go is probably about 10 laps to go. So we could see a little bit of split strategy here. Does someone try to split it halfway, 25-25? Or does someone try to stay out really late, maybe take fuel only of 2 tires? Or try and stretch it as long as they can for a caution? Could see some split strategies here in this final run.
There's really anyone in this front pack and has a chance of the win. It's about 9 cars deep. Karolinski, the ninth place car. So if anyone gets a good strategy call, I mean, I really don't know what the right strategy call is. I mean, these ARCA cars, I don't know if a 2-tire strategy call here would be a good idea. I mean, I think track position is a little bit more important. I think you could probably do a 2-tire strategy here at a track like Nashville.
I think it probably won't work if you're up front, but if you're in the back needing to gain time, it would be worth to try something like it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this car a little newer than, well, the newest NASCAR in iRacing. You don't have a lot of experience on it. You know, you don't really know exactly how 2 tires are once they're worn off on the left sides, and new right side tires, you don't know exactly how it might handle. As Skinner gets tight off of turn 4. Let's go out Zabosian and Hoff to catch back up a little bit down the front straightaways. They're side by side for second.
They say side by side is Hoff on the bottom, Zabosian on the outside lane. Anderson looking behind him if something happens. He's going to try and push Zabosian clear. Let's go allow him to stay side by side with Samuel Hoff here for third. Now he's going to pin that double zero machine down to the bottom. Sabosian on into second as Hoff loses the front nose a little bit down into the 1. Almost slid up into Anderson, but they're going to stay side by side for third. Big side draft from Hoff, but Anderson is going to be the clear. Anderson clears for third. Now he's going to set his sights on that 45 of Connor Sabosian. As Jared Skinner has the lead, but only by a couple car lengths, and he's kind of coming back. He's falling back a little bit. Howard Martin, lap car in the way here. He's just get out of the way quickly. It's out of the race leaders. So far, it's Jared Skinner took the lead on the restart. He's able to hold it. He's been able to hold it. It's in single file for most of the field. We could start to see pit stops here in about 10 more laps. Let's see some split strategies in this final run.
as we're 15 laps into the run right now. I would expect some of these drivers to probably put with 25 to go, 20 to go, around there. I mean, I also expect probably a handful to also stay out as long as they can, hoping for a caution as well.
Yeah, I expect to see some of these drivers trying to hope for that caution late, but we'll see because someone could also, maybe if you're in the middle of the pack, pit earlier, maybe a little bit just earlier than halfway through this run. Maybe hope that some of these guys up front, they all stay out. You can gain some time that way. A lot of things can happen. Could shake this race up. We'll see if any of these front guys, because a lot of these front guys know we've had cautions after a little bit of a run. It's a chance all 5 of these guys try to stay out as long as possible.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. I mean, I don't know if you want to risk it if you're one of the front runners, but I mean, maybe if you, I don't know, maybe if your driver kind of further down the points, you gotta do something different. Could be an option.
Turn number 2, Sabozzi getting pushed by Anderson, but they're trying to close the gap down to Skinner and trying to get by Skinner. So Skinner has got a lap car in the way now. Is Dylan Lamp up on the outside lane, staying out of the way of most of these drivers. Be a little bit in the way of the exit for Samuel Haw. Not going to slow up these leaders too much, but Jared Skinner holding the bottom well, but Sabozzi trying to get that clean air on the nose, staying a little bit higher on entries. Trying to get the runs, but he's not going away from Jared Skinner. His laps start to tick down closer and closer to pit stops maybe. Everyone's going to have to make one more stop. The longest they can go is about 10 to go. So, about halfway through this run. At the longest point. We'll start to see it. We'll maybe see if some of these drivers pit with about 25 to go. That's halfway. Splitting the last run in half from you started with just under 50 to go. Scary. He's able to hold a good a couple car length lead over Connor Sabozzian. So not able to get close enough. That dirty air is just helping and playing into Jared Skinner's favor. But this time by 30 laps to go here from Nashville. So a lot of time to go and a lot of strategy and a lot of errors can still be made. Let's see some 2-tire strategy calls. We'll see if that happens as well. Keep an eye on pit road entry as well. See if anyone from the mid, maybe towards the back of the pack, comes down pit road. They have 19 cars on the lead lap. The top 6 in their one pack, 7th through 9th in their own, and 10th on back. Pretty much in 10th place of Craig Martin is by himself on the racetrack, and 11th to 13th in their own pack, 14th to 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th and 19th all in their own pack. So about pretty much this top 6 all together. And it's really just packs of 2 or 3 cars throughout the rest of the lead lap cars. So there's Ruben Rodas, Kyle Herlinski, and Hunter Sr. You see one of these drivers maybe try to take a 2-tire call. They're only about 4 or 5 seconds back. That will gain them on time.
Down pit lane.
Daniel Malnick's coming down pit road. He's in that earlier incident. Kind of in that run, he got turned up to the wall with Skylar Jones.
What was strategy B? Will it be 2? Will it be 4? Right now, Alex Anderson side by side with Connor Sabozzian for second.
Daniel Wallnix was 11 seconds out of the lead, so he's going to take 4 tires. Just got to hope it cycles out for him, maybe gets a caution late.
As Anderson gets around Zabosian for a second.
Honestly, if I was Wallnix there, I probably would have stretched it as long as possible. Actually, I think he does have to pit a little bit earlier, actually, anyways. Unless he had to take the wait around last caution, I believe. This time by 25 to go. We'll see if anyone starts to come down pit road. We do have one driver coming down pit road. A little hot though. Towards the back of the pack.
AJ Hudson right there.
Yeah, it looked a little hot getting into pit road. He's gonna, no penalties, so got it slowed down just in time. But he was about in that kind of the midway pack, seven seconds back. He could try 2 tires, but if all these drivers up front, they stay out, maybe try and stay for a caution. AJ Hudson could have the opportunity to pick up the win if all these drivers stay out. If they stay out long enough, he can get the lead, steal the lead away. With 24 to go, these drivers at least have 14 more laps on fuel. So everyone stays out so far. No one else has came down pit road with the exception of Daniel Wallnix and AJ Hudson. So everyone's staying out, just maybe thinking there's going to be a caution. You see different strategies, but I believe Isaiah Watcher is also saying this time he'll be coming out pit road. Nathan Fryer as well saying over the radio, so more drivers start to come down pit road. Isaiah Watcher is pitting from 6th, just at the tail end of that pack. Isaiah Watcher's the only one down pit road so far. There's Nathan Fryer.
As well,
See maybe if AJ Hudson could jump some of those guys, jump those drivers. Isaiah Watcher's still in pit road. It's AJ Hudson. There's off turn 2. Isaiah Watcher's coming off pit road now, so I think. Wonder if AJ Hudson had a slow stop.
As for the race lead, Alex Anderson out back in front.
Yeah, so now falling back is Jared Skinner. Berlinski down pit road.
And the fall off has not been that much, only about half a second after about 30 laps. So not a lot of tire wear here in the ARCA cars. I think a 2-tire strategy would be the right call for some drivers here.
We'll see if anyone does it, but Cameron Craighead down pit road as well. Dylan Lamp down pit road. Dylan Lamp with lots of laps down. Kyle Litsky a lap down as well. Alex Anderson saying he's pitting over the radio, so does he bring in anybody else this time by with 20 to go? Does any of these front runners try a 2-tire call? Alex Anderson, the only one coming down pit road out of that front pack. His laps running down. 19 to
Cameron
go for the
Craighead
race
took 2
leaders.
right there.
Cameron Craighead was pretty far back off that pace, so we'll see if he can gain enough time on the 2 tires, saving time on pit road.
As Anderson taking 2.
And that could be a big move there. Only knowing there's only not much fall off. All these front runners staying out, so this could work out for Alex Anderson. But some of these front runners take 2 tires as well. They pit about with only 10 to go. Could be a strategy call there, but a lot of these drivers stay out of the racetrack. Alex Anderson, so far, all by himself. Craig Martin's down pit road. He takes 4, so Alex Anderson will be the race leader so far. Jimmy Geicke's down pit road. With 17 to go. This time by with 16 to go. None of the front run, these top 4 staying out of the racetrack. Dustin Coggin as well. Just keep in mind, he started dead last tonight. Well, not dead last, but finished, won the LCQ, second in the LCQ. He's worked this up for 34. And he's in this top 4, and he has a chance at a win tonight. He plays the strategy right. Samuel Hoff pitting, this time by over the radio, Dustin Coggin as well. Jared Skinner stays at the bottom, Connor Rosie stays on the outside, so I think these top 3 are pitting. Connor Rosie stays on the racetrack. What will these drivers do? Will they take 4 tires or will they take 2?
As Hoff might have jumped Skinner on the pit lane. Yes, he does. What an entry for Samuel Hoff right there.
A good run there. Dustin Coggin, a very early stall. We'll see where we're Alex Anderson, where will he cycle? He's currently in off of turn number 2 right now. He took 2 tires. Hunter Sr. is right behind him as well, but Hunter Sr. Still out there in second. So Hunter Sr. just getting, so Alex Anderson unlapping himself from Hunter Sr. But Alex Anderson off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Jared Skinner taking 2, Samuel Hoff taking 2, Dustin Coggin all take 2 tires. Where they cycle out compared to Alex Anderson. Alex Anderson gonna pass them all.
Oh, Ruben Rolla speed penalty off of pit lane for him, running top 10.
That is not good news for him, but Alex Anderson, Samuel Hoff entering 3 now, but Alex Anderson about half a corner ahead. About a corner ahead of these drivers. He's on the undercut strategy, so his tires might fall off a little bit. Thomas Spencer stays out on the racetrack. Connor Sabosian down pit road now. Connor Sabosian, I believe he took 2 tires as well. He's off the pit road now. He's just stay alongside. He's closer to Alex Anderson compared to Samuel Hoff. So this pit stop, the strategy is shaking up the front pack. Everyone in the front pack is pitted. Thomas Spencer still staying on the racetrack, just hoping for a caution. It's now Connor Zabosian on fresh 2 tires. Alex Anderson a little bit worn old 2 tires. The battle between the undercut or overcut now with 12 to go. We'll see if Hoff, Skinner, or Coggin, if they have a chance to chase down Alex Anderson. And Alex Anderson and Connor Zabosian, they get to battling very hard. That could cost them a lot of time to Samuel Hoff and allow someone else to take an advantage. But that time by Alex Anderson, a 30.080 compared to Connor Zabosian, 29.960, so about just over a tenth faster for Alex Anderson as the top 3 come down pit road. So Alex Anderson will inherit the race lead this time by. As Connor Zabosian trying to chase him down. Gap at the line about half a second. Zabosian right now about a tenth and a half faster per lap. He will get there at this pace, but this dirty air is going to start to affect him. It's going to get harder to pass as well. Tires are going to start to even out. They're only on 2 tires. First driver on 4 is Isaiah Waltress, 7 seconds behind these drivers, so he's not going to catch. Doesn't have enough time, but Alex Anderson in the lead. Connor Zabosian now on his bumper with 10 to go here from Nashville. Anderson gonna have to play defense now. Gonna have to leave each lane blocked. Trying to block every lane. Hoff trying to close it in as well. Skinner trying to close it in as well. Everyone's gonna slowly get to Alex Anderson. It's now Anderson.
Here we go.
2 tires on the little older tires, but Zabosian drives it in deeper with the fresher tires now on the 2 tires. But Anderson with the run on the high lane. He's going to hold off Zabosian for now. He should have maybe cleared out the back straightaway. He does. Zabosian slots back in line. Thinks better of it. Going to try and use the outside lane. Going to try and reset and maybe make another attack. But off of turn 4. Hoff closes the gap to these top two. Jared Skinner closing in as well. Dustin Cocky kind of falling off a little bit, so we could have a 4-car battle for the lead here. Late 4-car battle for the win. Dustin Coggin falling off a little bit. But here comes Connor Sother, the great run off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. He dives into the bottom on Alex Anderson for the lead.
Hoff.
Anderson pinning down Sabosian as much as he can. Hoff is a good run off of turn 4. He's going to try and push Sabosian clear. He's going to stick behind him. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Hoff's going to try and have to kind of settle his way back in now. Try to get back into a good lane, but side by side for the lead still. Anderson getting the run off the corner, trying to hold off Sabosian. Hoff right behind him, trying to push one through, kind of waiting for this battle to finish. As Sabosian very tight on the bottom, that's going to check up Hoff and Skinner. Skinner's going to try have a move on Hoff now, as they're nose to tail for second, third, and fourth. This Anderson able to pull a couple car lengths ahead. As now they're side by side for third between Hoff and Skinner. Skinner trying to make his way through. He's gonna slot back behind Hoff. Gonna try and push Hoff back closer to the lead.
From the farther go this time by. Hot 4 battling out, and also some lap traffic up ahead could play a factor in tonight's race finish.
Off of turn number 2, 5 laps to go here from Nashville. Anderson holds on. Sabosian trying to find his lane, trying to get some clean air, but a little bit of battle hurt his tires maybe a little bit. Oh, Skinner in the wall behind him. That's going to cost him a lot of time. But Hoff trying to help Sabosian up front. The JuicySpydr machines trying to work together, trying to take this win away from Alex Anderson. Alex Anderson holding the lead. It's a few lap cars in the way. It's still left, gets out of the way, but the dirty air can affect him a little bit here. As Skinner trying to get to the inside of Samuel Hoff. Not be able to do it, but 3 to go for Alex Anderson. Sabosian not close enough. Has to try and get a big enough up front. Hope Alex Anderson maybe makes a mistake. Just stuck in that dirty air. Can't really do anything yet. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Anderson holding by a couple car lengths over Connor Sabosian. Sabosian trying to get help from Hoff. But Hoff's under attack from Jared Skinner behind. But Anderson tight into the wall. He gets to the wall. 2 to go. It's now Anderson. Now an attack from Sabosian. Sabosian at the bottom for the race lead, for the race win. Skinner clear for third. He has a moment. He has an opportunity now for the race lead. These 2 drivers staying side by side for the win. Here comes Skinner. He's got the run. He's going to push Sabosian to the bottom. Going to maybe look for a move into 3. Going to think better about it. Side by side through 3 and 4. Sabosian on the bottom. Anderson on the outside. 1 lap to go here from Nashville Super Speedway. Anderson clear for the lead. Sabosian, he's going to have 2 opportunities left. But through 1 and 2, some lap traffic going to be in the way. The dirty air going to play a factor. Sabosian has a big checkup through the center of the corner to avoid the dirty air. Lap cars in the way for Anderson. He's going to be able to pull away though. They're hard battling for second. Anderson going to fight his way through the lap traffic. Fights his way through lap traffic in the final corner, but off of 4, Anderson's gonna hold on. They drag race for second, but Alex Anderson, he's gonna pick up the win and win the JuicySpydr Gaming 200 with a perfectly strategy call late, 2 tires undercut, and he's gonna get it done. Alex Anderson got in the wall, coming to 2 to go, allowed Skinner, Sabosian to get to the bottom. But he was able to hold off. And we thought that lap traffic was going to play a big factor that final corner.
Almost did.
He was able to hold on, almost a little bit of contact with a few of those lap cars. But Alex Anderson able to play a great 2 tire strategy call, able to get a few lap undercut. Jump the drivers up front, And he was able to hold off for the final 10 laps. And he's able to pick up the win after a 50-lap run to the finish. Anderson burns it down. And he becomes our first repeat winner of the season, as he won at Phoenix a few weeks ago in their last race of the Legacy ARCA car. But he burns it down and he celebrates. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here for our top 3 interviews here from Nashville. Welcome back here to the Nashville Super Speedway. Just wrapped up here as Alex Anderson was able to take the race win. But before we get to our top 3 interviews, let's take a look at our finishing results for tonight's JuicySpydr Gaming 200 here for Nashville. Alex Anderson able to hold off late and he's able to get the win over Samuel Hall and Connor Zabosian. We'll talk to those 3 in just a moment. Jared Skinner, P4. Dustin Coggin rounds our top 5. He started 34th tonight. Biggest mover tonight for that 46 machine. A great drive for him. Hunter Sr. will finish 6th tonight. Isaiah Walters will finish 7th. Cameron Craighead finishing 8th. Kyle Harlitsky finishing 9th. And Travis Fever rounding our top 10. AJ Hudson finishing 11th. Alex McQueen finishing 12th. Thomas Spencer 13th. Nathan Fryer finishing 14th. Craig Martin rounding our top 15. Skylar Jones 16th. Brian Marshall 17th. Our last driver to finish on the lead lap. Daniel Monix finishing 18th. Donnie Kite finishing 19th. And Blake McClung rounding out our top 20. Finishing 24th tonight, 21st tonight, Jeremy Geikis. Ruben Rose finishing 22nd. 23rd, Ryan Houston. 24th, Albert Lopez. Jake Ballman finishing 25th. Dylan Lamp 26th. Tyler Martin 27th. Alan Kennedy 28th. Michael James 29th. And rounding our top 30 is Nathan Johnson in 30th. The machine of Dwayne Young finishing 31st tonight. 32nd is Jacob Wilson. Michael Wall finishing 33rd. Christopher Bush finishing 34th. John Russo rounds out the top 35. And Tate Pratt rounds out our 36 car field here tonight. But all out front, it was Alex Anderson. A perfect 2-tire strategy call. Able to get a little undercut there late. Able to hold off the rest of those drivers late in those final 10 to 15 laps. How are you able to hold them off?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The only way you could pass people here is this is all you got to do. For anybody watching the replay, this is how you pass at Nashville Super Speedway in the new ARCA cars. Go through turn 3 and 4, get a better run to the guy in front of you, just barely get to his quarter panel before the tri-oval. You'll be in front of him by the next lap. I'm telling you, that's the only way you can pass here. So I mean, that's how I got around all of them in the first place. And then I wanted to pit early just to get like 1 or 2 laps on fresh tires to get out in front of them, which worked. And then from there, just holding the top and smooth sailing. Besides the wall pop coming to 2 to go, which got me really nervous. But and you just hold the top; they can't do anything, and just able to cruise away.
Yeah, you're able to play that perfectly with that tire call there late, and just rough me through how did the car handle tonight really with the tire wear, and especially those 2 tires right at the very end compared to fresh 4 tires.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. There is like barely a difference. I noticed that, like, especially at Pocono last week, just in these new ARCA cars, there is very little, if any, tire wear at all. Like, what my qualifying lap was a 29.9, and towards the end on like we'll say like the run before I pitted before them all there, the last lap before I pitted, I ran a 30.3. That's maybe 4/10 of fall off just from my qualifying lap. So the tire wear wasn't too bad. It just got like a little tighter than it usually was. The cars, they're very tight. Like I find it, like I usually like to drift into turn 1 after like the heats or the race or whatever, and I find it so hard with this car because of how tight they are. So that was interesting to work with, especially off turn 4 with how tight it gets. But yeah, wasn't horrible. Just had to figure it out.
Yeah, but you're able to figure it out, and you're able to get the win and master that tire wear tonight, and the just pit strategy in working your way through the traffic. But before you send you off on your way, Andy, sponsor the link for tonight's race win.
First off, as always, got to thank my parents. Biggest sponsors there. Can't leave without giving them a shout out. Thanks to everybody at Revved Up Racing, Daniel, Jacob, Brock, KH, all over there. Thanks to Sam for putting on the show. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to my buddy River Page for making the nice, very clean, unsponsored car for me to run tonight. But other than that, I think that's all I got. Thank you.
Hey, once again, congrats on your race win. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Appreciate it.
So that was our race winner of Alex Anderson. We'll bring in our second place finisher of Samuel Hoff. He had a chance there late, had to work his way through Connor Josie, and at that final lap, able to get that done there. What do you think he could have done differently there to maybe snipe Anderson away right at the final part?
I don't know if I could have gotten to Anderson. I was just too far back on that final lap going into it in 4th. Frustrating race a little bit, but it was a good race. Connor did well. We were trying to work as a team there, me, Connor, and him, just me, Connor, and Jared to work around Anderson, but Anderson knew that the top line was just dominant, and it was hard to pass there.
Yeah, and I also saw that how that was kind of a thing all night long. The outside lane was a little better to kind of build that run. The inside lane just able to hold there to the center. Just in your perspective and how you're able to work your way through traffic tonight and pass and battle all night long. Just what lane did you prefer, and what lane? How did the top feel compared to the bottom?
Oh, I liked the bottom a little bit more just for the extra room on exit. This car was extremely tight tonight, but if I had to be defending a line, I wanted to be on the outside. But I was trying not to fight. We had so many JuicySpydr cars up front, and instead of trying to throw them all away, I was just trying to be single file with them, try and keep them up front, and then that white flag came out, and teammates are gone at that point. So.
Yeah, you're still able to hold on to second there right at the very end, and be able to get a solid run for you tonight, and only the second race of this brand new ARCA car. And yeah, we'll have to see you in the third one at next week at Watkins Glen. But before we send off anyway, any sponsor thank for tonight's second place round?
Yeah, I'd like to thank JuicySpydr Network, JuicySpydr for all their support, Patty Engineering, Fanic Robotics, and of course the man on the box, Donald Trump, for the spotting.
Once again, congrats on your second place finish. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen. So that was our second place finisher of Samuel Hoff. We'll bring in our third place finisher of Connor Zabozian. Had a shot at the lead with 2 to go, but just not able to get it done. What do you think you could have done differently there right in that final 5 laps to maybe try and get Anderson there late?
Well, first of all, I really got to thank JuicySpydr Racing, NJB Designs, Marin Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, The Pleasure Zone, PPG, Painter Supply and Equipment, Michigan Independent Door Company, Dynamic Machining. It was a good race. I I had a really good pit stop there that got me a little ways away from Sam and Jared on that last pit stop, but coming up on people to pass them, it's brutal to pass in these cars. It's a matter of lining up a perfect run, and Alex did a great job of defending. It wasn't like over aggressive defending, but it's just enough to hold the guy off, even though I had slightly better tires. These cars are super draft dependent and just a pain to pass in.
Yeah, and we saw it was very tough to pass all night long, and you see a little bit of outside drivers trying to get that cleaner on the outside lane, and then also trying to get the cleaner on the bottom. See, the inside lane was kind of a little bit better to maybe get down there, but it was just the outside lane was able to hold off. But just what your perspective tonight? How tough was it really to pass out there? And was it kind of like that, or a little bit different?
The lines were relatively equal. The top side definitely had an advantage holding people off because you just can't get that run up off the corner, and you can't get the perfect line on entry. You kind of have to back out of it early. And like if you're really going to get around somebody in these cars, you have to drive it in really hard and clear them by the center of the corner. They're going to get a run on you and get right back around you. But it was definitely a lot more challenging to pass than the last car was. I think if we went back to the last car, it would have been a different story. The whole race, I think, would have just been more spread out and probably a lot more passing going on. But well, we'll see how the course runs of this car, see how it goes, how iRacing develops it in the future.
Yeah, and we'll also see. We'll maybe get some updates in the future, but also only our second race on this car, so we'll got a lot more races left on the season. It's definitely going to be a learning curve for a lot of these drivers. You guys had to work your way through this week and last week, but next week you'd have a new challenge at a road course. Before we get there, before we send you off on the way, any sort of link for tonight's third place run?
Yeah, I'll thank them again. JuicySpydr Racing, NJB Designs, Moran Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, The Pleasure Zone, Michigan Independent Door Company, Dynamic Machining, PPG, and Painter Supply and Equipment.
Once again, congrats on your third place run tonight. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Thank you.
So that was our third place finisher of Connors Rosen. He just lost second that final lap, final few corners, but he was still able to pick up a solid third place run tonight. And next week we'll be going to the road course at Watkins Glen. So it's definitely going to be a fun fun race going into the next week after, especially just coming off this fun race tonight here.
Yeah, tonight just I mentioned it kind of in the last run. The two-tire strategy seemed like the best option. Track position's so important. Most of you drivers mentioning it's so hard to pass here at Nashville in these ARCA cars.
And we'll see if it will be tough to pass next week at Watkins Glen. That's definitely going to be a fun race to watch. I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll also see if it's kind of tight like it has been tonight, and also it was kind of a looser on the road course, but a lot of stuff to learn for the new ARCA car, especially going into next week with the road course. But before we get there to Watkins Glen next week, we got a few other races coming up here on the Legends Racing Network. Starting tonight, we'll have the Bullet Racing League Grand National Series. They'll be going to Talladega at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, race number 3. And Sunday night, we'll have the Stampede Racing League JuicySpydr Premier Series. They'll be going to Darlington at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Monday night, we'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turkey Network Solution Series. They'll be going to Darlington also at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And we'll have Wednesday night, we'll have the SuperStar ARCA at Watkins Glen. It's 8:15 Eastern Time. As just under a month time now, we'll have the NAR Cup Series Season 6. They'll be back on Friday night as usual. They'll also have the Bolt Racing League Tuesday Night Thunder, as they just wrapped up their season last night. We have a few more weeks. We'll have the new Undisputed Cup Series here on Thursday night. So definitely a fun new series coming up here on the network, but only in a couple weeks. But hope to see you all there in those next broadcasts coming up here throughout the week. But so long here from Nashville. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer of Talent Drink tonight. So long here from Nashville. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.